Hey, let me show you what's going on with this, because this is pretty cool. I forget what exactly was here the last time I showed the spreadsheet specifically. I know I've been opening it up a lot while drafting. But a weird draft. Anyway, this is the 6th M12 draft that I had recorded. Not that I'd made videos out of, but that I'd gotten the text file off Moto for. So, just see what you can see. All that was done to get this output was inserting the text file into F1 over here and setting a delimiter as this guy, the greater than symbol. Doing that bumps your name and your picks over to a different column. And then that all gets stripped out, gets put into here, which references M12 set data, which is all a different spreadsheet now. And these guys are pack modifiers, which I'll get to in a bit. What else happens just in here? I made this graph which shows the maximum power that you could get in different color combinations for each pick. So in this draft it looks like blue-black was the best, and you started to see that into pack 2. White-black was pretty solid too, red-green was consistently worst. Basically, yeah, max power means that it's the maximum. Every card has a ranking from 1 to 10. Just like in a limited set review, you might rank cards 1 to 10. That's exactly what it is. And every time you take one, you get 1 to 10 power based on the power of the card. And max power counts if you took the best card of these two colors out of each pack. How much power would you end up with? So blue-black is far away the best. What else is going on? You can see how many of each color you saw, the total power of each color that you saw, and it's by pack, so you can see that, like, there's a guy on my right drafting blue-black, it looks like, but nobody to my left at all. I got a lot of it in pack 2. The max power, so total power is just the sum of the power rankings of the cards of each color. Max power is the best card of each color in each pack. What else going on? Just as an example, this pack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue cards. There, 5 blue cards. Just looked at that. So it's going to have like 18, 28, 34 power for blue. Gets added to the running total, but only 10 max power because you can only take one of these cards. So power gives you a better idea of how open a color is. Max power gives you a better idea of how valuable the color is to your deck, I guess. Max power is a little bit more variable. Anyway, this is average max power. This is a sort of useful graph. You can see red started off quite powerful and then tailed off as the draft increased. There was, looks like, a switch to white, where white was the most powerful color, but then white became sort of unimpressive. And blue didn't really show itself until pack 2, where it became obvious that blue was the color to be in. And then this is why I have those modifiers over here. Let me talk about this and see if I can actually explain it, because it's quite complicated. I wanted a way to approximate how strong a color would be by the end of the draft, given which cards you'd already taken. So say you take pick 1 Garrick, the Planeswalker, and your rating of Garrick is very high. You can edit the card ratings for whatever you think they are, but they don't even have to be between 1 and 10. You could give him like 15, and everything else is between 1 and 10 because he's just so good. Am I just like off camera right now, reclining and talking? Sit up straight for you. God, this is so much less comfortable though. So you take him, and you have 15 power of green just from that pick. Suppose that the next 4 packs you see no green at all. You see lots of other colors. Question is, at which point do you want to abandon green? And so this attempts to answer that by looking at the average power that you've seen of each color in each pack and then modifying it. So the power in pack 1 is less relevant than the power in pack 8, since the really good cards in pack 8 are showing you more what's open than the ones in pack 1. The only reason cards in pack 1 would tell you what's open is if you rate cards of a certain color really high, in which case it's always going to look like it's open to you because you think it's the best color. So in this draft we see that red actually wasn't super present in the first 3 packs, but I was taking red cards. I took like 8 red cards in a row. So even though red just like vanished off the face of the earth, you can see there's very little red. In the first 8 it was the most powerful color, and then middle of the pack, and then just gone. But since I took so many cards in that color, it takes quite a while before we're expecting red to give us a worse deck than the other colors, because I have that huge commitment. However, even with 8 cards chosen, by like pick 2 of pack 2, it's fairly clear to this algorithm that red is not going to get me a great deck. And even though I have 8 cards that are red in my pile, it looks like white and blue are the colors to actually be in. Another thing you can see is, okay, so there's 170 power of red out there, and you can sort of decide based on how open another color is whether or not you can just stick with this color and have it sort of weaker and pair it with the deeper color. Pack strength simply tells you the average power ranking of each card in a pack, so you can see in pack 1 I opened a mediocre pack, got past 2 pretty good ones, and then the 7th pack I saw was extremely powerful. It still was almost on average better than the first pack I opened. Pack 2 looks like it was quite deep. My first open here is just insane. By the time it gets back to me, it's still averaging over 4 power per card. And yeah, stuff like that. Let me just show you what's going on with this, how I'm calculating it. What I'm doing is, what are the really relevant ones? This is over in the pick by pick sheet. So we want to know our total power taken. Where is that? Somewhere. Yeah, total power taken. This is always relevant. You can see in this draft I took lots of red to start, then like none because I saw none. And ended up with it being my second most powerful color, but I ended up hitting blue pretty hard. So we want to take this, and for say pick 8, which is that one, we want to say, okay, we have 49, now let's add another 37 picks at the average weighted value. Now the weighted value, average total power. So total power in each pack is 8, 12, 14, 15, 9, 7, 14, da-da-da-da-da. But we have weights over here. Pack 1 is worth 0.6, pack 10 is worth 0.105. These are derived by sampling, and I only have 6 drafts in the sample. Show you how they're derived. So some of them don't make sense, like pack 10 is worth more, less than pack 9. Doesn't make sense. It's just a small sample size. So I'm seeing the average power of each pack. Then I get the overall average, and the modifier is just the overall average divided by the average. So multiplying each pack by the modifier for that pack would get you just an average pack. Pack 13, well, pack 12 is weaker than usual, but if you multiply it by 1.13, you end up with pack 13s, which average out to be worth 3.24 on average per card. That's relevant because when you're way back here, so it's just going like straight over everyone's head. It's sort of over my head. I mean, I managed to put it together somehow. When you're way back here and pick 8 is red, you can't rely on getting, like, the average power that you've seen in red is based on 7 picks, and those are the first 7 picks of a pack. You can't rely on getting picks like that every pack, obviously, so you weight them lower since they're the first picks, and then by the time you get to pack 2, you have a situation where you're weighting the first picks of pack 1 fairly low, but the last picks of pack 2 fairly high, so that you get a better sense for how open the color actually is. And these are going to end up going down because you're only taking 1 card out of each pack. So, yeah. Yeah. Something I'm working on slowly is another modifier for pack 2 based on how many cards of a color you've passed. I want to work out if you pass, say, 0 blue cards, do you see more blue cards in pack 2? You would think so, because the people to your left won't be drafting blue, most likely. And then how much is that a factor? Once I work that out, I can do a better job of extrapolating for pack 1 using this dealio. Is that an algorithm? I guess it's an algorithm. Anyway, so that's all cool. I want to show you how you'd go about entering your own draft, because I'm going to put all these spreadsheets up on my blog. So what you want to do is just select all of the tabs in this worksheet, like that. And you want to select move or copy, you want a new book, and you want to create a copy. Press OK, and that will open. This is draft 6 again, but it's in a new book. So I can start editing it, and well, actually, you don't even need to go to raw data. You just want to go to the data tab in Excel 2010. If you don't have Excel 2010, chances are this doesn't work, sorry. You want to get whichever draft you want, so I want the 7th draft I've done, which is that one. And yeah, everything works. That's all you have to do to get all this stuff going. Now, okay, so yeah, we can look at this draft and see what happened and see max power. We can see that green, blue was always sort of the place to be, and was the place I was, so that's good. If you're okay with just having the drafts that I've done be informing your modifiers, then that's all you need to do. But when I upload this all to my blog, I'm probably going to have like 7 total, because I don't think I'm going to add all the rest of them in before I put this all up. So given that you probably want to be adding stuff to the modifiers to make them more accurate yourself, so what you want to do is go over to this different spreadsheet, which is M12 pack strength. I'm going to upload that as well. There's one third one, which is M12 set data. That's where the rankings of all the cards are, and where you'd want to modify those. If you want to change the value of a card, you very simply would go to, say, shock and change it to 9 or something, and you want to find foil shock as well. So you'd want to go shock foil, change that to 9 as well. It's possible there are a couple of cards missing. I apologize for that. If you ever have a situation where these graphs aren't showing up, and in draft output you find a card that just doesn't have any information here, it's got like hash symbol, NA stuff going on, probably that's because the card isn't actually in the set data, so you want to add it. Maybe one or two of the rare lands are like that. One or two of the rare lands are like that. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. So yeah, if you want to keep on working on the modifiers, what you would want to do is simply, well, first off, let's save this book as draft 7. I'm calling them all M12, the format, draft 7. Well, the number, and I'm spelling it out, which probably shouldn't be. Yeah, actually that doesn't make much sense. But anyway, you would want to go to this sheet, and all you have to do is copy this column over here. You don't even need to put the 7 up there, but I think it makes sense. And you want to run a find and replace in here. And you just want to replace 6 with 7. And then 7 with 8 if you copy 7, and so on. Makes all the replacements. The modifiers get a little bit more accurate as they have more information. And yeah, and that's going to change the expected values that you were seeing over here just a little bit. Looks like there was a time when white would have been a sensible color to jump into in this draft. Right around pack 2. Wow, really? Oh, I'm in draft 6. Haha. We wanted to look at draft 7 now, because I was thinking it was sort of weird that I had 2 drafts in a row where I started with 8 red cards. Anyway, this one's just green-blue all the way still. Although, okay, there's a second in there around pick 8 where red looked like it would be good. Let's see. Wonder why that was. Because like red is never as good as the other colors. Oh, I guess, yeah, in here actually red is a little bit better than blue. Maybe I'd taken lots of green cards. I had taken lots of green cards and very few blue cards at the time, so red was just a tad better than blue, it looked like, and I'd only taken a couple of blue cards. So at that point it looked like red might have been a better color to go into, but as I took more blue cards, the value of switching to red was just never appealing. So yeah, that's the tool. It's a little difficult to use, but not so hard. I'll just show you again exactly what you have to do. Just copy all these tabs. You want to do new book and create a copy, and then you just go to the data tab and go refresh all and add the text file of the draft that you want. So I'm up to number 8. Let me make sure that was an M12 draft, otherwise things will go crazy. Alright. Yeah, at the moment this only works with M12, but it will be easy enough to fix it up for working with Innistrad. That'll be a project for, I don't know, it'll just take an hour or 2 probably. And yeah, you just do that and you have it. And if you want to add to the modifiers, you go into your pack strength, deal them a jig, and just get some more data. You know, that's actually so smooth that I think I'll just do all of my drafts. So, whoops. Oh, I didn't save it yet. Yeah, you're going to want to save it as the next draft before you try to reference it in a different worksheet, because otherwise the other worksheet isn't going to find anything, obviously. Shoot. Didn't want to do that. I just replaced all of them instead of the ones in that column. 7, 8, replace all 44 replacements. Sure. So, yeah. I don't know, by the time I have it uploaded, I might even have a few more things going on. There's another sheet that's sort of still being worked on. It's not doing anything at the moment. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the spreadsheet. I think it's super cool, and you can even have it open while you're drafting. It turns out that the text file updates while you're drafting. So if you like forget what you passed out of pack 1, just open the spreadsheet up, import the text file, and take a look. The graphs won't all work until all the picks are in, but a decent amount will work. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this. It's a continuing project. I would like to make it more compatible with live play, so make it easier for it to be displaying stuff that's useful for you while you're in the draft. I'd like to make it not based on Excel 2010, so that like people can download and install it without needing that program, because obviously this is an expensive program and not everybody has it. Also, probably I could charge you money for it if you were buying a new program to do it. I don't know. Maybe I could charge you money just for this. You could donate money just for this or something. I'm not super excited about monetizing really, but in the future, eventually perhaps. Yeah, just a cool tool. Alright. Steven out.